Hi everyone! In this lesson, we will learn personal pronouns in Turkish language. So let's start. You might already know or guess that pronouns in Turkish language are very similar to pronouns in other languages. They are somehow universal. So, same as in many other languages, Turkish language also has 6 personal pronouns. Accordingly, the first person singular is ben, I. The second person singular is sen, you. The third person singular is o, which means he, she, or it. The first person plural is biz, we. The second person plural is siz, you. And the third person plural is ONLAR, they. Very simple and straightforward. So just to repeat: ben, sen, o, biz, siz, onlar. Of course, this is the basics. There are some additional things we need to keep in mind about Turkish personal pronouns. The first thing that we have to remember is that the personal pronoun o may mean he, she, or it. You might immediately ask yourself which one is meant by the pronoun o then in practice. Well, the way you understand which third person specifically is meant in the sentence is mostly through the context. And if it's not clear from the context, you would simply ask an additional question to clarify, like who or whom do you mean? And the person would respond to clarify and say, for example, I mean Arzu, which is a female name, or that person is my mother, or somebody else who is female. So in such a case, o would mean she. But believe me, in most cases, you will know whether it's he, she, or it from the context. Second, we should remember not to confuse the personal pronoun o, which means he, she, it, with the demonstrative pronoun o, which means that. To distinguish them, you can check the following rule. Personal pronouns always act as a subject, while demonstrative pronouns mostly act as an adjective before a noun. Look at the examples below. O erken geldi. He, she, it came early. In this sentence, o acts as a subject, which means it might be he, she, or it. In the second sentence, o adam erken geldi, which means that man came early, o acts as an adjective. Did you see the difference? Third, the personal pronoun siz is used either to address two or more people or to address someone in a formal way, which is very similar to the use of usted in Spanish. And which one you mean is again understood from the context. But the story doesn't end here, because there is a related thing you need to know about the role of Turkish pronouns in a sentence. Accordingly, same as in several other pronoun-dropping languages like Spanish, French, or Romanian, you can drop pronouns in Turkish sentences too, because the pronoun can be inferred from the action verb. For this, of course, you need to know the following key consonants that would appear in the personal endings of the action verbs. For the first person singular pronoun ben, you will usually see the consonant me at the end of the action verbs. For the second person singular pronoun sen, you will usually see the consonant ne or sene. For the third person singular pronoun o, you will not see any peculiar consonant or even personal ending. For the first person plural pronoun biz, you will usually see the consonant z or k. For the second person plural pronoun siz, you will usually see the consonants ne z or snz. Last, for the third person plural pronoun onlar, you again will not see any peculiar consonant or personal ending. The only ending that you have here is the ending lar, which makes the pronoun plural and distinguishes it from the third person singular pronoun o. So you see, there are no hidden rules, and every single pronoun is clearly identifiable from the action verb. I have 2 more notes before we finish this lesson. First is the fact that you don't need to use personal pronouns in Turkish sentences because they are already inferred from the action verbs, unless there is a need for that, if you want, for example, to stress the pronoun deliberately. Look at the examples below. In the first sentence, gördüm, which means I saw, there is no stress in the sentence, which means you don't need to use the pronoun ben here, because we already can understand from the consonant me at the end of the verb that it's I. In the second sentence, ben gördüm, which basically means the same thing, I saw, we now have a stress on the pronoun ben. Ben gördüm, which means I saw. It's nobody else but I. Did you also see the difference in intonation? The stress is on ben. Second, when the subject of the third person plural in the sentence is known, it's common in daily language to omit the plural ending lar at the end of the action verb. But if the subject is not specified, you usually would not drop that ending. Why do you think it's so? Because if you drop it in the absence of a subject, then it would refer to a third person singular he, she, or it. Look at the examples below. The sentence "Çocuklar kitap okuyorlar" has the same meaning with the sentence "Çocuklar kitap okuyor," which means the children are reading a book. And here, dropping the ending lar at the end of the action verb doesn't change the meaning. In addition, both of the sentences are grammatically correct in Turkish. In the second sentence, kitap okuyorlar, which again means they are reading a book, we don't have a subject specified. Therefore, if you drop the ending lar from the end of the action verb to make it kitap okuyor, then it would refer to a third person singular he, she, or it. Therefore, kitap okuyor is different than kitap okuyorlar, because kitap okuyor means he, she, it is reading a book, while kitap okuyorlar means they are reading a book. So, as long as the subject for the third person plural is known, you can easily drop the ending lar at the end of the action verb. If the subject is not specified, then you have to keep that ending lar, because that is the ending that lets us know you are talking about them. That's it for personal pronouns in Turkish language. See you in the next lessons. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel below for more videos on Turkish grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Also, if you think this video can benefit somebody else, please share it with them. Last, if you have any comment or request, please provide your feedback in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to respond as soon as possible.